Dr. Cari here, and I want to talk to you a little bit about the healing journey in general and what creates vibrancy and health. So for many years, I would have made it like a pyramid, and with your foundation being what you put in and on your body. But as I've worked, I've really come to understand that it's much more like a six-pointed star. So at the bottom of that six-pointed star is, again, what you put in and on your body. Why is this important? Because nutrients are what your body uses to do every function in it. It's what it does to build tissue, it's what it does to detoxify, it's what it does to make waste, it's what it uses nutrients for everything. Energy is how your body does everything, and energy is what is made from the nutrients that you eat, from the air you breathe, the water you drink, the sunlight you get, and the nutrients you get from what you consume. Super important. Now, if we're eating stuff and putting stuff in our body that does not have the nutrients we need, we create a stress situation in our system, and our system has to pick and choose what it's going to do based on what it has. Okay? Now, the other problem is we're eating food that is loaded with chemicals, like most of our food is in America, unfortunately. Those chemicals are now barriers that block our body from functioning optimally and get in the way of our health. Okay? Likewise, the stuff that we put on our body, women walk out of the house, it's estimated 165 chemicals later that we have rubbed on ourselves with our makeup and our hair care and all of that, right? Crazy. Doesn't have to be that way. You can find natural stuff that will help you look and feel beautiful that doesn't have to be toxic to your body. So what we're doing every day, we're rubbing on and putting inside, has a really big impact on whether our body is thriving and whether our body has barriers blocking it from thriving. So now we move over to the point on the left of that star, and I put digestion there. Because if you're eating great, beautiful food and you've got a digestive imbalance, you're not going to break down that food, and it's going to get in the way of your vibrancy and your health. Plus, a digestive imbalance creates toxins, and those toxins can make you sick and create inflammation. How do you know if you have digestive imbalance? If you got bloating, you got gas, you got acid reflux, you don't have a bowel movement every day, you have too many bowel movements in a day, you got a digestive imbalance. Okay? So we move over to the next pillar, and that pillar is movement. So we need to move our bodies. We've become a very sedentary culture. We spend a lot of time sitting at computers, at desks, and we don't move around that much. Movement is essential for good health. Not only movement, like exercise so that we pump our heart and keep our heart strong. You're much more than your heart. Your heart is essential. But there are so many systems in your body that need you to move. And if you think about it, in the olden days, we weren't just walking like this or sitting on a bike on a treadmill or in a Stairmaster or whatever. We were moving in ways where we bent and we pulled and we reached and we all of this. This kind of movement is what really makes us healthy. Yes, walking is good, but you want to be moving all the tissues of your body. You want to be twisting. I have a whole video on this that's on my YouTube channel, so you can go listen to the different factors of why movement is so important, but it is one of the pillars for health. Being sedentary is a huge contributor to disease, huge. Now at the top of that star, we have our thoughts. We are what we think, right? And this is such an important category because many of us are in the bad habit of having bad thoughts. And we really have to retrain our brain to think in ways that are supporting us. If we're taking a supplement, we're like, I hate taking this supplement. How much do you think that supplement's going to help you? But if you're taking a supplement and you're like, thank you for giving me the nutrients I need in order to heal myself, that supplement is going to actually be supportive. If we're having judgments of other people and judgments on ourselves, what is that saying? Imagine a little child that grows up in an environment where it's constantly being judged and put down. how much is that child going to thrive? It's not going to. You're not going to thrive either. So cleaning up our thoughts is a very important part of creating vibrant health. I could say a lot more about that one. And then we head off over to the right, and we've got sleep. Oh, we've got to get our rest. It's when we rest that our body does its repair. Now, if you're a person that is really running at a high vibration, you don't need as much sleep. But for most of us, we need that repair time. We need those minimum 7 hours a night to let our body repair and heal. It is in deep sleep that your brain gets flushed out of toxins. If that's not happening, that's when you start to see brain degeneration. It is in sleep when melatonin levels go up, which have so many benefits to our health, and cortisol, stress hormone levels, go down. So we need to make sure that we are getting enough sleep. And if we are doing good sleep hygiene and we are not able to sleep, then there's a stress on your system that needs to be addressed. So getting good sleep, super, super important. And then another huge, huge piece of this puzzle is stress. If we are living under the influence of the hormones of stress on a chronic basis, we are degenerating all the systems in our body. We are blocking our immune system. We are blocking healing. We will not be sleeping well. We will not be digesting well. We will not be doing all the things that I just said we need to be doing in order to thrive. Okay, so we've got to be looking around our life and looking at how we're responding to things in our external world. For some people, it's really like an eye-opener when they learn that stress isn't dictated by what's happening. Stress is dictated by how you're responding to what's happening. And so learning how to moderate our stress response, learning how to keep our body in a state of balance, even though things around us are shifting in ways we're maybe not so comfortable with, is a skill. One of the things that really helps that is a daily practice of some sort of inward focus, a daily breath practice, a daily meditation practice, a daily chanting practice, a daily prayer practice, something that helps downregulate that nervous system out of a stress response. People will say to me, oh, I can't meditate. That just doesn't work for me. That means you're stressed out. And so what might be better for you at that time is to start with a breathing practice, because it keeps you active and it keeps the mind active and will help eventually lower that stress response where you can sit quietly. So, stress. Now, in the center of this star is the most important thing that I have found makes a difference in all of these other things, because you can know what to do and not be able to do it. And that is how much we like and love ourselves. If we are living in a state of self-judgment, self-loathing, self-dislike, and I would even venture to say self-hate, we will have a really hard time taking care of ourselves, and the self-care will not be coming from a loving place. So in this journey of healing your body, in this journey of creating the life that you dream of, it is essential that you work to find right relationship with yourself. Your natural state is a state of love. Self-judgment is completely opposite of who you actually are. So learning to love oneself can be a journey, and it can be tricky, but it needs to start with a commitment that you want to. So that's what I'm going to ask you today. You know, if you found a sick puppy on the street and you took it home and you took care of it, even though it was messy and had fleas and it was sick and it was pooping everywhere, eventually, as that puppy got better, you would learn to love it. If there's a child that's struggling and isn't thriving in their life, and you don't like their behavior, do you judge it and hate it? No, that child needs love. You're the same. So the parts of yourself that you struggle to like, those parts need love more than they need anything else, and they need it from you. So the first step is to look at those parts of yourself that you reject, and you say, what would happen if I loved it? What would happen? The big fear is that it will stay that way or that it will take over your life. The secret is as you reject it, it's actually taking over your life. The more energy you give something, the bigger it becomes. The more you focus on it lovingly and you meet it and you give it what it never had that it needed, was somebody saying, you know what, it's okay that you feel this way. I understand why you feel this way and I love you anyway. That actually is what helps soothe that part of your nervous system. I call this work working with your outdated survival programming. It's the programming from your childhood that said, in order to survive, this is what I need to do. And that programming often said, I need to be smaller. I'm not good enough. There's something wrong with me. I need to change. So meeting that programming with love, compassion, acceptance, of course, in the environment that that child was in, that was what it did. It was how it knew how to survive. That is the secret. I'm sending you all so much love. I will be loving you while you are learning to love yourself. Remember, it is with love and compassion that we heal.